Today I'm pleased to launch the New South Wales ICT Strategy 2012. The strategy marks a new whole-of-government approach to information and communications technology in New South Wales. It provides a roadmap to deliver my vision, our vision, for this state to be regarded as a leader in leveraging ICT to make interacting with government easier for citizens and businesses. The strategy also delivers on the commitment I made in my first 100 days in office to put ICT front and centre for better public services and better value ICT investment. The strategy puts citizens at the front and centre of service delivery. It's about finding new and better solutions to provide services and information to New South Wales citizens and businesses. Improving how we work together, both within government and with our industry and research sector partners, will reap significant benefits for citizens and businesses in New South Wales. Public sector agencies will be well positioned to work together to deliver new and better services. Industry will be able to develop solutions by having access to government data. We know we need to leverage industry experience to find the right solutions. We are changing the way we buy ICT to ensure we get best value for money from our annual $2 billion expenditure. Those savings can then be redirected to where they are most needed, to frontline service delivery. The rapid pace of technological change is a challenge for all of us. The ICT strategy steps out the government's response to this challenge in collaboration with industry and the community. Last June, I invited senior business leaders from the private sector, industry and research organisations to tell me what was needed for the government to meet the expectations of our customers, suppliers and other partners to use ICT for efficient and effective services. I'm grateful for all of the generous feedback I've received, and I've listened. Your input made it clear that government must get back to basics and rethink the way we procure ICT, how we share information within agencies and with the public, and how we use ICT to deliver services and value to citizens. People are used to using their computers, smartphones and tablets to access information and interact with their banks, insurers and other service providers, and government needs to stop waiting for citizens to come to us and provide services that are squarely and proactively focused on the public we serve. Critical to achieving this is early engagement with industry to collaborate on business solutions. Businesses of all sizes are important partners in the works we have ahead. Also critical to our success are the robust governance arrangements I've put in place to lead and report to me on the progress of the government's new approach. Comprising 7 Directors General and the Chair of the Industry Advisory Board, John Baird, the ICT Board is responsible for the highest level oversight of ICT projects across the public sector. The Board will drive the implementation of the ICT strategy and monitor agency performance. And uniquely, the Board combines public sector leadership with the private sector to drive the best outcomes. The Board is supported by the ICT Leadership Group, which comprises Chief Information Officers and senior business leaders from across the government and the industry. It's essential that industry plays a strong role in the implementation of the ICT strategy. We need industry assistance if we are to develop novel and useful ICT-based solutions to our service delivery challenges. For this reason, I established the ICT Advisory Board to provide expertise from the business and research sectors. I wanted consultation on the development of the strategy to be as broad as possible. We held an industry forum last year and formed various governance work groups. And I thank those of you who have participated and volunteered your time and expertise in this journey. In addition, public feedback was invited on the draft Strategic ICT Framework released last November. Contributions were received from high-calibre ICT and finance companies, research bodies, academia, industry associations, and of course the general public. All of this feedback was considered in the development of the final ICT strategy I'm announcing today. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 initiatives were identified as priorities for the New South Wales Government ICT Strategy 2012. Service New South Wales establishes a new service culture that is responsive to community needs and makes it easier to do business with the New South Wales Government. Our customers expect simpler access to government services, and to do this, we will establish one website and one phone number for a range of government information. We will develop more mobile apps to make it easier for people to access services regardless of time or location. Open Government outlines a new direction for improved engagement with the public and industry through social media and other technologies. We will encourage greater public participation in government decision-making and improve access to government services online. Open Data will stimulate the development of innovative approaches to service delivery and new tools for interacting with government anywhere, anytime. We will continue the successful Apps for New South Wales events to collaborate with entrepreneurs, global ICT businesses and the local developer community for novel service solutions using government data. The Information and Managed Services Priority Initiative will enable government to be agile in our approach through consolidation, virtualisation and sourcing as a service technologies. We will pilot a private government cloud by the end of the year. That's this year. In addition, we will establish a service catalogue to enable agencies to procure ICT as a service as an alternative to buying and operating assets themselves. Procurement reform will facilitate more effective early engagement with industry and secure better value from the government's $2 billion annual ICT expenditure. We want to provide agencies with a framework to assist them align their individual ICT investment strategies with broader government service priorities. Managing information for better services is a critical foundation of the business of government. We will establish a framework of common standards and practices across government to support the secure management of public sector information for better services, reduced duplication and improved performance management. And the ICT Skills and Innovation Initiative steps out how we will work through the Public Service Commission to build the right skills for our people, capitalising on industry, best practice training and accreditation to ensure the public sector is well placed to face the challenges of a rapidly changing ICT environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the initiatives outlined in the ICT strategy are accompanied by an implementation plan of priority actions with unambiguous delivery timeframes. We're getting started straight away and you'll be able to measure our progress. The government's approach is to clearly outline what is required to make New South Wales #1 again, and we are taking a long-term view to transform the use of ICT across the public sector. To ensure we stay on the right track, I'll report back on progress later in the year, and I might even do it at the AIIA. This strategy is forward-thinking. That was a departure, sorry. This strategy is forward-thinking and ambitious, but also measured. We have a lot to do, and it would be easy to make big promises, but I'm determined to meet the expectations of the people of New South Wales by delivering what's needed for modern, agile government. The approach will provide government with direction and industry with clarity on government priorities, enabling a more innovative and responsive ICT sector in New South Wales. And finally, I want to thank all of you here today. It's great to see you here and great to have the buzz of excitement and interest. As I mentioned, the AIIA have done a fantastic job. Suzanne and your team, thank you very much. But I'd also like to specifically thank those who were instrumental in making the strategy. The ICT board, thank you John and your board members, the leadership group, and particularly I want to acknowledge the work of the Director General of my Department of Finance and Services, thank you Michael, and your staff who've taken on the challenge of significant and fundamental reform with enthusiasm, diligence and good humour. It's been challenging, And I also want to thank my own staff who have also taken on the challenges with enthusiasm, diligence and good humour, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy reading about one of them on Sunday.